is our grave. Do you wanna dance to the rhythm of your heartbeat? We could take a chance, leave the only word we know. This is the beginning of flying in the unknown. Tell me what you see, tell me where you wanna go. We can be anything. We can be anything. We can be anything. We can be
My name is Garrett. Last name is Slim. I started out as just like a regular member of Point Break, and then through time and a lot of growth, I actually ended up stepping into the leadership position and am now the current leader of Point Break.
My name is Emily, and I am part of Point Break.
I'm Heather.
Skylar Martinez.
Oh, there's questions. I don't remember what they are.
11 months ago, coming up to a year, is when I first started going.
What brought me to Point Break was
Go Heather, go Heather, go Heather.
What brought me to Point Break specifically, I've always known about God and like Jesus and everything. For a long time, I just didn't really care. Like I got saved as a kid and like gave my life to Christ, and then as I went through high school and stuff, I kind of faded away and just didn't really do what I was supposed to do. And then I joined the military, which the Marine Corps makes it very hard to stay in your faith. It's a very violent community.
I don't like to say that I got brought to Point Break. I like to say that Point Break found me.
I had tried to kind of seek out a church here and there when I first got to Hawaii in 2023.
and I was really looking for a solid Christian community, especially of people that were more similar to me and were like me. And so I found out about this hiking, and then the fact that they did a Bible study in town, which is funny because I live so unbelievably far from town and still make the commute every single Thursday.
I moved here at the end of February and kind of got all of the crazy things of getting living situation figured out, getting a car, getting a job, all of those things. And
just wanted to find a little bit of Christian community, so I started going to a run club called Run for Jesus.
And they invited me to Run for Jesus. And I had came across a brother-sister duo that is so beloved to us in the Point Break community, known as Jules and Joseph. And we kind of got to yapping as we do, and they kind of told me about Point Break.
I was searching on Instagram for groups, like young adult groups and stuff, like trying to connect with people so that I can get better community and just try to hold me accountable to actually go to church and maybe even enjoy it. And I saw this girl post on her Instagram story about a Easter party that they were hosting at their house. Not a very social guy. I actually almost drove away before the party even started. And then I looked to my left and I saw Joseph standing in his driveway looking at me, and we locked eyes, and I was like, well, I can't leave now because then I can never show back because that's just gonna be super embarrassing. That's my first interaction.
How has Point Break affected my relationship with Jesus?
Point Break has affected my relationship with Jesus because it made me actually care again.
I think my experience with Point Break has just really set my soul on fire for the Lord and just really grown my connection exponentially.
My mom's story was a huge, huge part of that too. My mom's story gave me the desire. Point Break gave me the ability to apply that desire. Seeing how much other people knew about scripture and about the Bible and how deep they were with their walk with the Lord made me really want to try to strive and be better.
It's just this is the closest that I felt to the Lord, and just growing that knowledge and just being able to get into the Word and be surrounded by an incredible community that can help you with that. And then I'm sure he's gonna ask what the third question was. So he's packing up, we're on a time crunch, we're always late. This is the Point Break way.
This is very true. I'm Hunter. I believe I'm one of the longest members of Point Break Hawaii, along with Seth. So I've been able to see people like come and go. I've seen so many people grow through Point Break, especially like Garrett. The first time I had met Garrett, I went up to him and I was like, hey, by the way, if you ever want to talk or anything.
Hey man, like if you ever want to talk or hang out, like just let me know. And I literally told this man like, nah, I'm okay, thanks.
He said, nope, I'm good. I turned around and I was like, dang, jerk.
Like now we're like best friends.
He's my closest friend, and I would consider him my brother.
Point Break contributes to my current walk with Jesus a lot.
It's definitely more, a lot more, so much more than just a Bible study. It's just a whole community, and we'll go hiking and we'll go surfing and we'll go do all these incredible things, as well as like all deepening our understanding and our love for the Lord.
In the fact that I'm leading now, I build all the Point Break studies that we do every week. So like I have to come up with things that like I feel like God is guiding me to speak on, or like things that I think the group needs to hear.
But I think it's also up to me to continue that walk, like outside of just like Sunday service, or outside of just like Point Break and Thursday night Bible studies, or women's Bible study. It's so much more than that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next question. Hunter. Hunter's hard. He's in the back there working hard to pack up so we're not late and get stuck in this botanical garden.
My intentions went from like, I guess in a way like a selfish standpoint of like, what can I get out of Point Break? Like, what can I do? Or, you know, how many times can I hang out with these people to make myself feel better, I guess, about like my brokenness? Or like, how can I use Point Break to help me heal my brokenness? Versus now, as like the leader of Point Break now, I'm trying to find like, where can I take Point Break? How can I grow Point Break to reach more people?
Me trying to recommit myself. That was my intentions of the group. And it still is my intention, you know. I don't want this group to feel like just a friend group where there's a lot of dating going on. There's a lot of like what a high school group going into college group looks like as a friend group. You know, it's more than that. This is a group where it's based off of, you know, Jesus.
I think being a part of this ministry has helped me to want to go deeper in my relationship with Christ in ways I hadn't before.
I actually was so grateful that I was able to be welcomed back into a Christian community that's as strong and as amazing as Point Break when I got here, which has just really been filling for me, and also has given me a lot of amazing opportunities to pour into others.
This world out here, you know, the world not only in Hawaii itself, but, you know, the global world is struggling through a time where, you know, we're in war, you know, where there's people that is, you know, having financial hardships and don't know what they're going through. There's people that are in college trying to figure out their life still, you know. There's people that are partying every night. There's people that are going to strip clubs. There's people that are doing things that are un-Jesus-like. And for the people out there that will see this, find a sense of community, find a sense of family that's based off of a Christian group, but really not just a Christian group, it's a Jesus group.
I think initially I was very much desperately seeking like community and friendships and being surrounded by those like-minded individuals and those people that are going to be good for me.
Now that I am in that leadership position, trying to like, you know, minister to the people the way that they need, whether that be like personally when they reach out to me, or coming up with group topics to discuss during studies, or just like different books that I want to go through within the Bible.
We just get to learn more and more. You know, you can't possibly know it all, and just being able to learn about all the different stories in the Bible and all like different ways that you can carry your cross every day, and you just have a community that is just a reflection of the Lord's love, and we get to encourage each other and like be there for each other, and like it's almost like free therapy. It's really nice.
And when I got the chance to, get close to people in Point Break, number one, I realized how much of a barrier I had that meeting people from kind of all backgrounds and walks of life like needed to break through. And it made me feel like a lot less alone, but it wasn't just meeting friends who were alike in our backgrounds and experiences, but also ones I had very different ones who still challenged me in my walk with Christ. And I felt like I've been able to grow a lot more than I have been before I encountered Point Break. Or let me specify, before God allowed me to come to Point Break, because I give him all the glory there.
Anyways, I think the last question, Hunter, was pretty much my testimony. I feel like when people ask for testimonies, they always get this polished version of what, a testimony should be. But I don't have that polished version. It's like testimonies are raw and real, and I'm like, I never know how to share it. I'm like, where do we start? We could be here until we're old and wrinkly if I told you my whole testimony and everything that's happened in my life, but we're not gonna do that because this is gonna be a shorter documentary, okay? And not everybody needs to know my whole life story, but I do love sharing.
Emily's interview lasted until the card ran out of space.
Like, I can probably share in 2 minutes.
That was such a lie.
I'm so distracted. I'm so distracted, Hunter. I'm like, I can't do this. This is hard.
Try editing a distracted person.
Hey. Hey there, how are you? Yeah, always been curious, and I would have different conversations with my dad about like the Lord, and I just like ask him questions. And again, it wasn't always like the first topic of discussion that we talk about, but I was always curious, and I know I could go to him and ask him questions. And my dad's not a crazy emotional guy, or at least like not growing up he wasn't, and I would see how emotional he would get like talking about the Lord and just like how incredible he is. And like my dad's experience, he has moved heaven and earth to find me and to be there for me to seek him and find him, and he does that for everybody. But yeah, and kind of just breaking those chains off my life, the things that were holding me back and keeping me from being who the Lord's called me to be. And pretty much, yeah, less than a month of me being here, I was able to find that incredible, well, about a month, yeah, find that incredible community that really encouraged that and encouraged me to kind of be that person and be a reflection of what the Lord's love looks like. And now I'm currently in the process of trying to encourage my family in that way as well.
When you have others to really like stand with and walk with you, you get to grow and learn more about Christ, and people can teach you things that you would never know on your own, and you have the opportunity to do the same. And so it really just creates an environment where you can uplift one another and just have really great fellowship.
God brought me Point Break, and Point Break brought me family. It is not my story, it's God's story. Pater noster, qui es in calis, sanctificatur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua sicut in cielo et in terra, panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimitti nobis debita nostra sicut, et dimittimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentatione, sed libera nos a malo. Amen. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Thank you for being my family that God has given me. Let's see where it takes us next.
What is this music that's happening? Do you hear that? What is that?
Favorite person in Point Break?
Be careful with this question.
I would probably say